This episode is brought to you by Michigan Economic Development Corporation. In Michigan, you can have both a rewarding career and a quality lifestyle, with plentiful career opportunities in world-changing, innovating industries, from electric vehicles to clean energy to biotech, with room for advancement no matter where you are in your career. Plus, Michigan offers a welcoming, beautiful, affordable, and inclusive community for all. Live your best life. You can in Michigan. Visit themichiganlife.org.
Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Friday, September 3rd. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today I want to play a clip from a recent episode of my podcast, the Instagram Stories podcast, where I interview Nikki Canning of Later. If you're not familiar with Later, it's an Instagram scheduling tool. It actually handles a bunch of other platforms like Pinterest and TikTok. And Nikki is the editorial manager there at Later. I met her when I worked on an article all about captions on Instagram stories for Later. On the episode, we talk about influencers, how to maximize working with them, and how to get user-generated content from your audience in order to leverage that. Here's a clip of the episode.
I think if you're a small business, your main focus as a strategy right now should be thinking about how you're going to sell your products with all of the great tools that Instagram has just brought out in the last year. I've seen just such a sudden push into the e-commerce space from Instagram and a lot of other social media platforms, but Instagram is the one where I would say it's above and above. It's above and beyond the other platforms in terms of what they offer small businesses to help them make sales. So if you're wondering what to focus on as a small business, just hone in on that selling strategy.
I agree. And I'm glad you brought that up. I've been saying for a while that I think Instagram has really targeted this e-commerce space as, okay, Amazon's the giant. Okay, we get that. That's the mall, whatever. But what about selling through individuals? Because we buy one way through a store, but we don't buy by actually looking at items. We buy things by looking at them on people. And that's a completely different experience. So the way they've set it up is, the branded partnerships and the way that you can partner with individuals so that when they wear a shirt, they add the tag. You can buy the shirt right from that person's post and all these other things. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about how you've seen that work, what you've seen work really well, and where you think that's going potentially?
Yeah, well, I love that you mentioned that we buy things differently now, like what we're expecting before we decide to kind of hand over our credit card at a cashier. Like we go through a lot of stages before we get to that. And now I think there's a really fantastic stat about the Gen Z age group and their discovery behaviors or their consumer behaviors around purchasing have changed the most drastically. So any of us who are like outside of the Gen Z age group, me included, we're really used to going to Google and like typing in what we want to buy or like what we're interested in. And that could be anything like plants or shoes or cars or anything. We all go to Google. But for Gen Zers, I think they primarily use social media, and I would say Instagram because it's the smartest tool for that, for their purchasing and their discovery. So they will use Instagram to find products that they want to buy. So with that intent in mind, they turn to Instagram, to the followers or to the influencers that they follow, the brands that they love, their friends who are kind of talking about brands, any kind of sponsored content that can come up. They already have an intent to buy while being kind of scrolling through their home feed on Instagram. And that's huge. They're our next generation of big spenders. So it's worth keeping an eye on that. And of course, I think one of the other things that has really changed how people want to kind of.
Okay, that was a clip from episode 50 of the Instagram Stories podcast with Nikki Canning, who's editorial manager at Later. Later is the scheduling app that I mentioned, but also they host something called LaterCon, which is a huge social media strategies summit. It's all online. They just released tickets for it. It's September 29th. Definitely check it out. There's some people on there who I really admire and look up to. I think you'll definitely get benefit from it, so check it out. It's called LaterCon, and you can find it on Later's website. If you'd like to hear the rest of that episode, look for it on Apple Music, Spotify, or ask your smart speaker for the Instagram Stories podcast. Come back tomorrow for more Instagram news, strategy, tips, and more.